All right, the Hoka Ora Primo. This is my introduction to the Hoka brand. I have a pair of Hoka slides coming too, but they haven't arrived yet. So the Primo came first. This came fast. I ordered it like 2 days ago and it's already here. So there's this weird thing about this particular shoe. For some reason I have this image in my memory, in my brain, of the laces system on this particular shoe. And it was there before I had ever seen them. I don't know if I had a dream about it. I have this vague memory of looking through cover foliage and seeing just the top part of this shoe with the laces, how it's got the big tubular laces on it. So, and then I, a couple days following, I came across this shoe for the first time. I was like, oh, there's those laces that's in my brain. So who knows where that came from. I was watching a video on YouTube the other day, how they think they're gonna be able to start sticking advertisements in our dreams. So maybe I was beamed from Hoka with the Primo laces subconsciously in my REM, which later resulted me in purchasing them. Who knows? Probably not. I probably stumbled across them at some point in time and didn't know what I was looking at, but my brain recognized the laces system. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So Hoka. I really don't know a whole lot about this brand. Like I said, this is my first pair of Hokas. So with the Primo, their website said to size up. Oh, I went with the carbon black colorway. I thought it was cool because in my mind's eye, these laces were black. So I had to get a model that had these black laces in them. The green one looked pretty cool though too, but I had to complete the vision in my brain. So these are in their lifestyle category. That's kind of grody looking. It supposedly has they call it a puff upper, and they say that this collar is knit. On the reviews, people complain about these being really difficult to get into, but then once you get into them, they are supposedly very comfortable. So let's get a look at them before I dive into them too much. They do look pretty sweet. Once I started looking at them, I ended up buying them within a day or two. It consumed my thought process. It's like must have Hoka Ora Primos. I tend to obsess about things. And whatever is on the brain is where the obsession tends to go. So these were on the brain once I learned of their existence and just the weird impression of them in my mind prior to ever coming across them made me want them even more. So now that we're beyond that, let's take a look at it. So we got this knit upper. These do seem to be geared more towards cooler temperatures. It's got kind of a nice liner on the inside here. Let me bust out the light. So you can see it's kind of got like an insulated liner on the underside of what's already the padded insulated upper. So these are probably going to be pretty cozy, pretty warm. The midsole is pretty thick. It's pretty beefy. It's got kind kind of like a rock and pebble print. And then we've got some organic curvilinear lines here that are then repeated with this leather strip up here. And then too, this kind of, if you see, this is all one piece that they've halved with this line right here, which is kind of nice. So it creates a good flow throughout it. So it reminds me of like the layers of the Earth's crust. So, and then we've got the outsole, some pretty nice aggressive tread lugs on it with these little diamond inner shapes. So it looks like we've got some additional rubber inserts too, along the toe and then along the heel here for some added traction. Because I'm sure this softer foam here will probably start to wear away first. And the foam doesn't always give the best traction, especially on like slip surfaces and wet surfaces. So this rubber layer, this dual layer rubber area will help with the traction and wet, slippery conditions. So, but these are pretty decent looking, man. I've heard good things about Hoka. Got the emblem on the side. So I like this colorway. That's pretty nice. This seemed to be the more popular colorway too. I was looking at them when I first came across them and I went on the website. They didn't have this colorway in stock. It was out in my size. But then when I went back a couple days later, they had it in. So that's part of why I just immediately like scooped it up. It's like, oh, I gotta grab this while I can. So it feels very soft on the inside. And this whole lace system, I think it's kind of like an infinity lace, like you get with the some of the 350 boosts. The newer ones have that infinity lace system in it. This is kind of reminiscent of that, to where it's just one piece. And I don't know if it provides anything beyond the aesthetics, but hey, it's that aesthetic that sold me on this particular pair of Hokas. So there's something to be said about that. I like it. It's kind of got like a sci-fi vibe to it. Kind of a futuristic space age vibe. This could be like moon rocks and stuff, you know. Who knows? But all right, I think that's all that I want to say about the top. I am going to point out that the lace system is just being held by smaller strings here, which I've seen on other models that tend to do this. These will give out, these will snap. These laces aren't really doing anything. I don't think they really are functional, so it might be a moot point. But had this been a more functional laces system, when they use string to like as the eyelets for the laces, that's kind of a not a very good way to go about doing that. I've just noticed that these snap off. Not on this particular shoe, but other pairs of shoes that do that, they tend to break. I think there was some Adidas pair that I was looking at, and that's what people were complaining about in the reviews, that they only had them for a short period of time, and the string holding down the laces was breaking on them. So, but that might be a moot point with this particular model, because I think these are more for visual than anything. So, all right, let's throw these on foot. I am really curious to see how these fit. So I went up to a size 13, because the Hoka's website said to go up a size. But some of the reviews said not to, so I don't know. I figured I would go up because the seems like the 13 sells out quicker than the 12s, and sure enough, when I referenced this on the website before doing this unboxing, the size 13 was already sold out in this colorway. So if these don't fit, I will send them back and I will get the 12s, but at least I went with the 13 initially, because had I gone with the 12s initially and then I had to go up, I would have not been able to get the 13. So, all right, enough rambling. Looks like we got some reflective components, I think on the top, and I think that's reflective too. The Hoka symbol, and then this tab on the top looks like it's kind of reflective. I don't know if this strip is reflective also. I'm not sure. But I just noticed a little bit of, when I kick the light on it, it wants to kind of shine a little. So I think there's some real reflective properties to this. All right, I might have to use both hands to get these on. So let's set up the tripod on the selfie stick and try to capture how difficult it is to get these on, because that was the biggest complaint on the website with the with these Primos. And they had another model, it was like advanced terrain or something, that didn't have the infinity lace system on it, but it was basically the same model. And people were complaining about those too, that it was difficult to get on. So I'm just sliding my foot all the way in. They feel a little narrow. And then we're gonna pull the tab in the back. And that was not difficult at all to get on. I don't know what people are complaining about. So I think the 13s were the way to go, because I got a perfect amount of space on the toe. See my toe is like right there. I got a 1/2 inch on the end. So size up on these. I went up an entire full size. I did notice they had half sizes, and I've never worn a pair of Hokas, but some brands I wear 11.5s. I typically go with a 12 with most brands. So 12 would have been my first initial purchase, or my size on these. Had I gone true to size, I would have went with a 12. They didn't have 12.5s. They had a 13 was the next size up from the 12. So I went all the way up to the 13. So with that being said, I went up an entire full size on these, and that was the sizing recommendation that they mentioned on the website too. And they fit good. So that is my sizing recommendation also, is to go up a full size. And so first impression, these are a little narrower than what I'm used to with my Crocs. The Crocs tend to run a little wider, but they don't feel like snug in terms of their width. They feel very comfortable. The footbed feels very comfortable. Let's start walking. So I didn't think those were difficult to get on at all. So the walking characteristic is pretty nice. It just feels like a pair of shoes. There's a decent elevation to the midsole. I pointed out when they were in hand how thick that midsole is, and I can feel it on foot. I feel a little elevated a little bit from my normal short stature. So this gives me an extra inch on my height, which is kind of decent. So they're pretty lightweight. They don't feel clunky at all. There were a lot of mixed reviews on these. People saying that they didn't fit very well, but I think they fit pretty good. There's a minimal heel rise, but it's not much. It's not any more than I would experience in a pair of shoes. Maybe a little more, having because it's got a bit of a mule property to it, having that lower heel to it, because this fits low. Let's get the down low footage so I can point that out. All right, so they're a little bit of a mule. They're kind of cut low in the back there. So I've got a little bit of a rise, but it's not bad. Like, they don't feel like they're falling off. But that's just worth noting that there is a little bit of play in the heel on the back, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So these are pretty cool. These are pretty comfy. There's a little bit of a texture on the sole. I don't think I pointed that out in the when they were on hand, but I feel that on foot as I'm walking around. I feel that texture, and let me show that real quick before I forget it. I think this sole comes right out. Take a look at that real quick. So here's the insole. You can see that texture on it. It's that same kind of pebble rock pattern that's on the midsole. They've got repeated on the insole. It's you can see how thin that, or how narrow that insole is. So that kind of gives you an idea of the width of the overall shoe. And it's a rather thin insole, but it's got a lot of foam in the midsole, so I think that's where it gets most of its comfort from. But anyways, those pebbles, I can feel that texture on foot when I'm walking around. So something worth noting. Get this back in. Cool. Yeah, I'm digging these. These are pretty sweet. I do like this colorway. I like that green one. That green color they have, those are fine to put on. It's just like putting on a pair of shoes that are still laced up. But that they've got a green colorway that looked pretty cool that I was half tempted to buy, but like I said, I had to fulfill the vision. I had to go with one that had the black infinity laces, the black tubular infinity laces on them. But these are sweet. I'm digging these. I think I'm gonna wear these later. I've got some things to do, so I'll go out, and I'm pretty sure these are keepers. I feel no need to send these back for resizing or displeasure or anything. These are fantastic. Another good pair of shoes. Not bad, Hoka. First impressions are pretty positive. So I'm just noticing that visually now. There's kind of there's a zigzag ribbon that goes down the center of the top of these, which is kind of holding the infinity laces on. So I didn't really notice that mentally when I had them in hand, but that pops out a lot more just looking down at them. So, but these are pretty good. These are pretty good. If you're thinking about getting them, I recommend these. They are insulated, so I am feeling a little bit of coziness there. So today will be a good opportunity to kind of wear these out and see how warm they are. I'll have to double check on the time, but I might be able to go and take Stella for a walk in these, and we can do some walking footage. That might end up being a separate video. So these are pretty solid. These are very cozy, very comfy, very lightweight. They feel very well made. They were a little pricey. I think they were like $100. I will post the retail, and I didn't get any discount on it. I think I got free shipping. I signed up for their the Hoka Club or whatever, and I was able to get free shipping, so that saved me like $10 or something like that. But I paid the full retail for these just because I wanted to get this colorway, so I didn't really wait for any sales or anything. I just scooped them up. So they do run a little pricey, but you know, I think it's not terrible comparatively speaking how expensive a lot of shoes are nowadays. It seems like $150 is kind of a mid price as far as shoes, especially if you get into like the any of like the foam oriented shoes that have a lot of foam for the midsole. Those seem to be really expensive. So for like $110, that's kind of a standard price point, I would say, for something like this. So it's not terribly priced, but it's not cheap. So these would be nice if you can get them. I'd say $70 would be a really good price point for these. So the 110 is a little high, but it's not terrible compared to, like I said, some of the other shoes on the market. It amazes me how expensive some of the Adidas shoes can be. So, good first impression from the Hoka brand. I'll have to continue checking out their offerings. I've got a pair of their slides coming, and but it's like last year's model. It's like the 2, not the 3. It's like the Hoka Ora Recovery Slide 2, and I think they've already got the Hoka Ora Recovery Slide 3. So we'll do the 3 in the future, but in the meantime, we got the 2. So I think they've got a luxe version of the Recovery Slide 2 that has like a Velcro strap on top that actually looks really, really cool. It had some nice color accents and stuff on the straps. So maybe we'll do those next. We'll keep an eye on those and see if we can find them on sale. That might be a good one to do next. So we will we'll wrap this up. I think I've said all I needed to say about these. Pleasantly surprised with the quality and the comfort on these for sure. So these are definitely a good one. So these are surprisingly good. The comfort's good. The style is really good. I like the tubular infinity laces on the top. It's like I said, it penetrated my psyche. I dreamed of this shoe. You know, but these are pretty cool. These are pretty comfy. We'll see how warm they are. That might be the only negative about them, is with them being kind of more geared towards cooler climates. Having that insulation, that kind of limits the seasons that you can wear these. So, but luckily it's still cold out. I should be able to get a couple months out of these before I gotta tuck them away for the fall again. But I'm digging them. Maybe they'll come out with another version that doesn't have the insulation in it. It could be like the Prima or the Primo Summer or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, these are good. These are quality. So I do recommend them. All right, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment on your experiences with the Hoka Ora Primo. Since these have been out for a little while, I'm sure there's quite a few people out there that have purchased these and have some experiences with them. So feel free to let me know about those in the comments below. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Cheers.